Let's go ahead and take a look at the calendar. There are two types of calendars. One is the public calendar, and the other one is the regular calendar. The public calendar is what the people will see once they go to your church website and click on the public calendar link. The calendar really serves a dual purpose. It allows you to see those events that are posted publicly for everyone to see, as in this example, prayer, English service, and Spanish service, and then also the internal events that people don't necessarily see, and also your private events. So let's take a look at some of these because the calendar is a really, really helpful tool. First of all, you're going to see a monthly view of the calendar. So we're in the month of June at this point in time, so we're going to take a look at the calendar through this perspective. If you want to look at a single day, today's the 25th of June, you can have a daily view. If you want to look at the week, you have a weekly view and see everything that's available in the week. If you want the monthly view like we just had, you go back to the monthly view. So let's scroll down a little bit so we can see more of the screen. Here's what you're going to notice. You can actually come here and click on Move To, click on a date, and let's say I want to move to September 2018. Just click on a day of the week, let's say Monday, and then click on Go. This will take you all the way to September 2018. Now, these are recurring events, that's why you see them over and over again. But what I wanted to show you is that you could go quickly to one date or another. If we click over here back to today, it'll take us back to June 2016. Now, what if you want to print the calendar? Well, that's a good question. You come here and you click on PDF, and then it will download the calendar to your desktop. Once it's downloaded to your desktop, give it a second to download, and then you can click on the calendar and open it. And this is something that you can have with you. Now, the colors will be a little bit different, but you get the point. So what this does is it consolidates everything and it forces it into one page. If for whatever reason, let's say you have too many events on one day, it'll move it down to page 2. In this case, we're okay. And obviously you can download this and you can email it to friends or other church members, etc. Now, let's say for an example, you want to synchronize and integrate this calendar with either Google or Outlook. It's very simple. Let me go back to just a minute to our user profile. Here's what you would do. In Google, you have a calendar ID that's found within your settings of Google Calendar. So in this case, I would go back to my profile, and then what I would do is I would edit my profile. Okay, scroll down here, select edit, and then down below here, I would put in my Google Calendar ID. Now, for the most part, it's probably going to be your Gmail address. So my Gmail address, I would put it in here, save it, and then it would automatically sync with the Google Calendar. Now, let me show you how to do that. Let's say, for an example, I come here and I want to sync all my activities with my Google Calendar. So right now, I can click on here, Update Month to Google, and this will update everything that's here, events, my activities, my groups, activities. It will update everything to my Google Calendar. Now, let's say I want to export it to my Outlook calendar. Then I would click on Export to iCal, as indicated by the button here. It would download a file to my desktop. All I have to do is double click that file, and all of these events will be automatically added to my Microsoft Outlook. Now, keep something in mind. The events that I export from Imagine Mobile Church to Google or Imagine Mobile Church to Outlook through these tools, I can only send them over to these functions or to these sites. I'm not going to be able to edit in Google or edit in iCal, and it edits the software here. So this is really one directional just to help you. Obviously, you can edit your event in Google or iCal. It just won't edit back onto the Imagine Mobile Church calendar. Now, let's say if you want to export a date range, you would select it here, start date, end date, and then that would give you the range. You can update events on your, Google Calendar, and you just come here and select all, group events, group and user, and select update Google Calendar. iCal basically takes all of the events. Google will take the events that you specify, either monthly or all of these events selected here. So this is very, very helpful. Now let's get into some of the basic functions of the calendar so you can see how to add events that you need. Notice we have events on this calendar. Some are weekly events, only one day a week. Some are twice a week, joyful choir. Some are only on Sunday. Some are only on Tuesday. Some are, let's see here, we have a weekly event. Some are, here's a children's camp here, it's in Spanish. So not everything has to be a recurring event. So the question becomes, okay, how do I add an event? Good question. I'm glad you asked. So let's go to, this is June 30th for just a minute. I'm going to double click on the white space. You have to double click, and that's going to open up the event. Now, let's say for an example that you want to create an event that we call a customized event. And in this event, you want to create it for a group. Let's say it's a ladies group. You want to invite and notify participants. You want to recruit and track volunteers. You want to manage the check-in and check-out. And you want to do all these things. It's an adult event. If it was a child event, then you would check-in child event, and then it would do that for you. So you don't have to worry about minimum participants or minimum volunteers. You can leave that blank, or you can put a number in. But the other thing I want you to see is the event could be normal, which means it just takes place once, or recurring. Now, keep in mind, this here is only needed when you're wanting to recruit people, invite people, track their information. If you don't, if it's just a basic event, you can uncheck it here. Okay. Now, if it's a recurring event, you click on the recurring radio button. It could be recurring Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Okay. This could be prayer meeting. Let's call it ladies prayer group. Okay. So it's going to take place weekly. Now it could also be bi-weekly, or monthly, yearly, or a yearly fixed date like Christmas, November 25th. It could be, monthly. It really depends on what you need, but you have several different options. Now, you put the start date, and then let's say the end date, you want it to be into the future, 2018, and you want it to be on that Tuesday, the 5th. Okay, now notice from 2016, 2018, you already have this on the calendar. If it's for everyone to see, you can select all. If it's for only a few users, you select users. In this case, it's going to be for a group. So you click on group. Once you click on group, you can type in here the name of the group, ladies group. Just type in any letter of their name and it'll come out. Now, if it's an event just for you, then you click on self and no one else will see it, just you. Then you can also change the event color by coming here and clicking the background. Let's say you want this to be a nice, pinkish color. Then the text, you can come here and make that white so it can stand out. Click OK. And then you can put a description here if you want. You can put event instructions, room 101. You can add it to the public calendar if you want everyone to see it. You can make, the event public that way. Again, it's a group event, but you can make it available. And then you also have the ability, if you want to, to send an email. Now, remember, you've selected ladies group. So by clicking off email notification, that's going to send an email to everyone in the ladies group. And here's what follows. Immediately, which is right away, daily, weekly, or prior to the event. you can check off any of these. You can check off daily, for an example, and then it's going to ask you for the time required, 4:15 p.m. Okay, that's going to be daily. Or if it's weekly, time is also required, Tuesday, 4:15 p.m. Or you can select prior to the event. You can set off immediately and prior to the event, and you want it on the Wednesday before at 4:15 p.m. So you can also do the same thing for text notifications. If you are signed up with our text messaging module, you can click on the text notification. It could send them out a notification immediately. Or as we did up here, you can check off any of these and schedule the date and the time. Same thing. But what I want you to notice is this is very, very proactive. So this is very, very helpful. You don't have to send out emails if you don't want to, or text messaging. And then what you do is you put the time. It could be 7 p.m. and it could be through 9 p.m. And once you do that, you select add, and then you're going to see your event appear on the calendar. So this is something that's very, very helpful. Again, this event starts on the 30th, but let's go to the month of July. And then here's what we see. We see ladies prayer group, ladies prayer group. It was Thursday, it was Saturday. So this is where you see, ladies prayer group again. And you see this over and over again because it started on the 30th. So this is an easy way to edit information. And if you need to edit the information more, you just go back to any of the days and then you just come here and click. Obviously, you have to be the creator or have access to edit the information, but you can come here and do different things. Maybe you didn't want a notification originally. You can add it. That's fine too. So these are simple ways to use the calendar for your benefit and make sure your church is really taking advantage of the Imagine Mobile Church calendar.